Okay, and welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time, Field Glory Empires as Persia, continuing our run. We're going to continue fighting Egypt here today. Got sort of two more parts left in the stream. I'm hoping to get a peace treaty with Egypt within those two parts. Although, even with a peace treaty, I don't think we're necessarily going to drag enough legacy off of them that we win immediately. Although we might be much closer to a tie state at that point. I think we've done everything. Oh no, we just ended a turn. So we've basically got everything to do. Okay. So that food balances the capital. We got 3 building slots there. What's the armor? So we're looking for an armor for there. We'll do the public works as a reroll. 2 build slots in the capital. Ooh. Ooh. So, I don't have luxury. And we have the crafting districts, so we can't roll for luxury yet either. So the King of Kings Palace. As you can see, we can build up to 3 of these in the region we have our national or our cultural wonder in. Several Persian kings further embellished the capital with impressive buildings supported by massive theater roofs. Some of the best known were the Hall of the 100 Columns, the Gate of All Nations, the Great Sanctuary, and the Hall of Mirrors. So we are very tempted to build this. This gives us 2 legacy a turn. It raises decadence by a lot. It generates a decent amount of culture, which is enough culture to offset the decadence, so don't really worry about the decadence there. Right now, very expensive because we don't have the luxury. So that's very tempting to build. And we can build this 3 times, so that's one of the reasons it's very tempting to build. This is going to be something we can only roll here. I'm probably going to pass on the walls, though the walls aren't. If we were presented with nothing else that was good, the walls wouldn't be bad, because there's a lot. The line expansion is tempting because it would give us another territory, or give us another building slot. We currently have 2. I think we're more likely to re-roll the land expansion than to roll the King of King Palace. And we want to roll the King of King Palace 2 more times, even if we do build it. So I think I'm going to take the palace. That's going to be expensive, but I think we can work with that. You're a food malice. You're an infrastructure malice. We still probably want to build enough infrastructure to get the regional road. Oh, and we don't even have enough people here to build anything besides the charcoal pile. So we're not going to do that. Could do smokehouse. Smokehouse wouldn't be the end of the world. Could do street parlor. We're that desperate for the money. Let's do the smokehouse. Look at some health there. And we're already going to be struggling for food because we're staying with the food malice from the no oasis. So health bonuses are probably going to be the way we try to grow that place faster. I think that'll be done next turn. Open building slot there. Grab a brickworks to work towards the regional roads. 2 options there. Caravan house is tempting. These are all Iranian at this point, so not too desperate to actually get them converted. Oh, there's one Caucasian there that would get converted. Or granted, we've already got the cult site, so this is loyalty bonus. Although building the cultural buildings to get up to tier 2 would get us a better conversion bonus, so we upgraded the cult site. But no, I think we're going to go the caravan house here. 12 more money is not bad, and that gives access to tier 2 commerce buildings. Yep, temple. And 2 build slots there. That's not a bad orchard, and there are ways for us to bring figs and dates in to buff that up. So let's do that. Nothing to build there, so we want to get these guys onto food production. We may not have enough here. Enough infrastructure here to move them all to food. No, it looks like we do. Yeah. Same here. You guys to food. Although this place needs a few on infrastructure just to feed and just keep the infrastructure steady. 3 slot, 2 slot. We do a reroll here. Not interested in the buildings I'm being offered there. This is the region we're getting the... No, the next one up's the one we get the cataphracts in. This one we get medium calf. Where's that light calf? Medium calf. Less interested in medium calf. That was me thinking about picking the armor, but no, we're gonna pass the armor. We don't have a fish bonus, although we could probably pretty easily get one. Get a fish bonus to get the fish, the coastal market here to be worth. But no, we'll pass. We'll do a shuffle there. Which guess we just don't need as much industry here because everything's on shuffle. So we'll basically shuffle everyone to food. Okay. Could go another ceramics maker. There may be an argument that we'd rather run up the line to Major Temple. Or we can just make it locally and that'll do the same thing. In which case then I don't need the temple line, because we're inland here. So that's probably what we'll go with. We got gold, we got marble, we got dye, 51 money, 21 culture. None of them actually from neighbor bonuses, because we've already got them on the neighboring tiles, I think. Although you... Neighbor Palace maybe. Well, we're getting ceramics somewhere. Oh, we already got you up to Major Temple, right? So you're importing the ceramics. So yeah, it's kind of sandwiched between two sources of ceramics. So it's not, from an adjacency standpoint, it's not going to be particularly strong because it's only got one adjacent, but it isn't going to have the ceramics. But because it's got adjacency of its own, it's good enough anyway. Dry dock. We're a little far away from our sailmaker, so we'll pass on that, take the monument instead. We'll see what we roll next turn. To clear that, we need the Builder's Guild, so we want Builder's Hall and the upgrades we need to get it to work. Get it upgraded. I think the guard tower is sort of a reroll. It'll go away in 5 population growth, but in the meantime, it's going to raise our military expertise ratio. This is another frequent earthquake location where we need Builder's Guild. Oh, I could do the Thassalan Temple here. We're out of the coral trade region, though. Oh, and we also be losing the 5% conversion bonus, so we don't want to do that. Could do the anchorage, we're not going to. Could do the training ground, we're not going to. I think we're going to do the warehouse here. That shrinks the infrastructure pool a little bit. To get rid of frequent earthquakes, we've got to get access to 2 or 3 infrastructure buildings anyway. That means we'll have then the access to the upgrade to this, which will make it even better. And then we'll be looking for the builder hole. So we can upgrade to the Builder Guild. Yeah, we probably want the conversion here. Which be the temple. Which means we should move people over to construction so it actually gets built in sometime this decade. We might be able to build it fast enough to get it done one turn. No, not quite. That's fine. In fact, actually, that might be a bit too much food. Yeah, make a little more infrastructure. Public works will be more construction. Farm will be more food, which means we're taking more people off of food to move on to construction. Weaver's shop. We definitely don't need more cloth in this area, I think. That's an argument to pass up on it. Yeah, let's, although I've got 2 building slots here, we'll take the Weaver shop then. Nope, don't need any infrastructure there. There we go. Shipyards, that'll give us some sales, but that's actually far away from the place we were thinking about using it before. Also not done, so hard to evaluate if it was actually too far away. We're looking for one place, we are looking for one building, we haven't rolled it yet. These are not 0 slots, so we're going to keep re-rolling until we hit it. We'll take the guard tower as a fancy reroll. This is one of the regions we're going to build archers, so given nothing better to build, building the archery range is not a bad idea. This is a place we can build farms. This is actually plains. Okay. Two open slots. Temple. Faster conversion. 5 open slots. We could do with a little bit of loyalty here, so we'll actually build a noble district. It's not quite big enough culture to offset its decadence, but this is a place with gold and silk, so like we're in trade range for the marble though, so that'll, in theory, make it reasonably profitable. We should finish that war soon, which means we can move more guys off of food in this area as the army moves out of the area. A little more into construction. Let's grab the training ground here. Okay. At the moment we want to probably put everyone on construction. Get the construction going. Because it's going to be hard to feed them all anyway. 25, okay. 26. That's what the case was up north. We got a lot of actual capacity to build here. Oration Tribune is a good loyalty building for a tier 1 building. And it has upgrades, which makes it extra good. We don't need the loyalty here. I think I'm gonna have the barracks to upgrade the field. Training grounds. And we want the cult site here for the extra conversion. There we go. And we've been all the way around, so we just check to see if there's any loose ones, like this one. We're gonna be looking for worship place. None of these are worship place. We'll take the clear water. Health is good. Army has an assigned task there. There's no other idols, yeah. No other regional things I want to do. Let's cycle the turn and see the consequences of our actions. Or, actually, I should recruit replacements for this army. So we're about 4 medium infantry short. Actually, let's say 6 medium infantry short. And a couple of Radiant Calf. So we can grab 5 from there. 1 from there. Can you recruit recruit some light cap, which wouldn't be the end of the world. There's the Radiant Calf, the armored calf we're looking for. There we go. Actually, I won't. We'll grab some of that light calf. Also, light calf to do some skirmishing. Some flankers. Okay. So those 3 groups will come together to form this army up. We'll even go and move it a little bit closer to where the armies are going to, the reinforced groups are going to train. And you will be where you want to be by the end of the turn. And I've already assigned you to just move into the army. There we go. And then you've got that assault, so that should be fine. Let's cycle the turn. Just realized I forgot to set the timer again. Let me get that timer going. We're attacking 26 units of 27 in the hills. However, this time, instead of our regular medium infantry, it will be our immortals going in. Which have a base of 6, going up the enemy's heavy infantry, which actually have 8 in this terrain. Apparently because our archers in the case in the back line have actually been exhausted. So we took some damage. Not super great. 8v6, this time because we got our support bonus here. We've done a little bit more exhaustion on them. 8v6. Well, this is not going as well as we'd like. There's a victory. And there's a victory. With 2 victories, we win the battle. And the country is destroyed. Fight in the alpine terrain where our mountain troops are specialized. Though, as you can see, we're needing it. It's a 10v6 fight. Anyone that's not a specialist here would be having a bad day. And we've moved up to the highest culture to decadence ratio of all the nations in the game. And legacy ranking-wise, we're in 2nd. We have more than a third of what Egypt has, so Egypt can't win, even if this was the normal scenario. Nabatean embassies have reached us with a proposal for peace. We're going to reject that because the country doesn't exist. Spend metal. Get manpower, money. We'll take money. We'll splice some slaves. And we can send some men home because the recruiting pool is actually a little full. People in Exodus. Upon liberating the city of Babylon, we've found thousands of exiled Jews in the city, something King Nebuchadnezzar II did nearly a century ago. These men and women from the kingdom of Judea have no home here. Our counselors will warn you as soon as the king has decided what will be the best course of action for Persia. Okay, I've not played far enough along to know what this event is going to cause. Maybe something to do with like releasing a territory around Judea. That wouldn't surprise me. Got another interloper. We'll try again. Okay. And yeah, now at this point we're basically just at war with Egypt. So march down the... or actually in this case, I want you to sail over to Cyprus. Ride the cavalry westward. Okay, we can get that army fully merged up next turn. We'll send this one to do raiding in Egypt. This one will quickly take over the island of Cyprus and then probably land in the northern delta. Back over here. 3 building slots. Could upgrade the walls. Could upgrade the quant. Not really interested in any of the other options we're being presented with. This is a border region. We'll upgrade the walls. Extra garrison wouldn't be a miss. And then you got a new person, so you got stuff you want more stuff you can build. I have a bonus from copper. When did we import copper? Did we actually get within copper range at some point? So you're importing copper from somewhere. Someone is importing copper from somewhere. You're importing it from somewhere. Where are you getting it from? All the way over there. Yeah, all the way from over there. Okay. That explains why I don't feel like I have any copper in the middle of the Empire, because I don't. Between there and there, and the territory up north, we actually got some copper up there. We just now have a through line over to there where we can get the copper from. Okay. Okay, so with copper, and we'll be able to import gold into one of the neighboring territories pretty easily. Because gold is available from here, and we already know we can import it there. If we can import it there, we can probably import it there, so we can get it neighboring. So we can get copper, gold. That's looking pretty good. That's a 26 commerce building. Yeah. Although I'm maybe not. Well, actually, what's our? Yeah, we need more money. We need more money. That's not a bad idea. Okay, pick it up. Like, we're making money, but we've got a temporary modifier on that's doing that. That will go away eventually. Trading tents. 29 money. Definitely toss up between trading tents and the monument here. We're highest on the decadence to culture ratio, so we'll do the money. I'm more worried about the money being an issue if we drop out of the... or if, when our modifiers go away, because it's also a temporary one affecting the decadence, but... And we have 48 more. Okay. So you're focusing on growth. 3 building slots there. You're maybe starting to reach the point where we want the loyalty, so we'll pick up the noble district there. Next one. We don't need the culture site. Actually, we probably want the culture site in this rough area so that we can get upgraded to Major Temple. So we can use the drag ceramic up here. Although I don't need to drag ceramic here because we built ceramic here. I really don't need the gold site anymore. Okay. Pottery, someplace else neighboring would benefit, but we can pass on that. Yeah, let's take the wall. Upgrade the wall for the regional capital. We're in trade range for the gold. No, in fact, we're actually in trade range for the gold westward, apparently. Our gold, not their gold. Oh, there's gold up there. Okay. So yeah, we'll do that. There's 35 money. That's decent. And we can get all that done without moving the person off of food, so we'll do that. Training ground. Weirdly, I think we want to do the one that, like, needs cotton, even though we can't import cotton, because it's easier to move the flax and the wool around other ways. And then you get the bonus from the double bonus. The double bonus is better than trying to import something you don't need to import that way. Yeah, we'll do the Tribune here then instead. Okay, so that'll be done in turn. We've grown enough here that we actually got building slots again. School. Take the watchtower for the military expertise ratio. And school will be done in turn. That's good. And this is where you're kind of seeing the bonus, right? So this one, we have wool, which is important. We had the flax bonus, so it's about 21. We get 22 if we had the cotton one. We also really don't need the cloth here, so I'm going to pass. As tempting it is to get the 6th commerce building. And for example, that's how we get the wool around. Right, so would I rather import the wool with the spinning mill wool or the archery range? The answer is the archery range. There we go, that'll be done in turn. 1, 4, and 3 slots to build. Although, they might be rerolls. Nope, the quant is on a reroll. Although maybe many of them will be. Could do an archery range here. Let's bring wool in. This is not the place where breeding archers would be a provincial cav here. Could keep going up that line. Do warehouse. You know, do warehouse. And we got lots of build slots here. Do we have the access to wine here? We do. Do the tavern then. Open slot. I think the courthouse is what we're going to go for. We did the M4 fabricator, but I probably want the growth. So we'll do the monument instead. Orchard or clear water. Do the orchard. Temple, done in turn. Do the smokehouse for the food. And the health, obviously, but food. This is a marsh. We could do swamp draining here. Low 2 building can only be set up in swamp and marshes. Much like the quarry, this unlocks a resource building in the health options. Unlike the quarry, which is the marble vein, I think it's naphtha that you get from... It's either naphtha or tar you get from the swamp. So a little bit less interested in actually going that route because we already have some somewhat nearby. And we'll do the caravan house. Clear water. Yep. Build slots. Mill would provide loyalty. This is a place that has grain, so we're not having any problems, and then we'd be interested in bringing the pottery in to get that up to 15. Okay. Or the noble district for more loyalty. We'll go the milk. The drawbacks on the mill are a lot less. There's a place we can get gold from. 40 gold on a bank, so I think that's worth the decadence cost. Ship around the next turn. That's the reroll opportunity. Did we hit what we want? Still have not hit what we want. We got solid walls as an upgrade, so we'll take it. Although it won't be done anytime soon. At least won't take a new slot, which works for us. 20 food granary. Yes, please. That's probably overbuilding, but that's fine. Oops, hit the wrong one. We're too far away from a coral source to import it for this building. We probably still want the conversion bonus. We're not going to swap to this anytime soon. Could do the harbor. We'll wait on that. Let's grab the quant instead. That's the place we just took over. Oh. So it's just took back. And we'd have troops moving out of the region, so we're a little bit less desperate for a lot of food to be floating here. Although we still want it to be food positive, so we'll do something like that, get a little more construction going. Let's go Salt House, get some food in the region. Public Works. Then we have 25 food surplus. That brings us down to 18. Made it stable. Oh, well, made that one stable. I'm not going to bother on the other ones. Although we will try to move some of the food around. 11. 6. Okay, that's close enough. That's going to get construction going a little bit faster. That's going as fast as it can, given the fact that it's a desert and needs people on food. Okay, you've calmed down. So move them over to construction. And you have a couple building slots. The farm upgrade is more food, allows us to get more people off of food onto other stuff. Okay. This is a region we're going to be marching through at some point soon, so we'll leave the food reasonably high, although 34 is still probably higher than we want. Here we go. Hopefully that region calms down, because that's unworkably terrible right now. Okay, we got 56 there. Could do the gambling ring. That would be a little desperate. I think we'll pass on that. Public Works or Farm. We're going to want the Public Works at some point for the road bonus. Okay, we can take it down to that loyalty, keep it stable, but get more construction going. Quarry. Regional road. And then we're on to any looses that aren't doing stuff, like this place. Although this place doesn't even have infrastructure to do anything. Anything. Once we take over that one, at least we'll have a province, although that might be just the case for the entire province, where the entire province can't do anything. Okay, that's all the idols assigned. Don't have any regional decisions, so let's go ahead and cycle the turn. Okay. This time this is mountain, so we get to use our entire frontage. Theirs is a little bit more. 10v6, 10v2, 10v2. There we go. So one guy on the other side rolled well enough, but one does not make a victory for the other side. Young nascent republic. So Rome is actually now at the top of the balance there. Gather mercenaries. We don't need to indirect the decision. We are the King of Kings, and we should show mercy when it is due. We need to own the Judea region and dismantle the hovels that pass for the Jewish district in Babylonia so that Jews can return to their ancestral homes. This must be done within 30 turns to have any meaning. Okay. I have to own the place. Yeah, I do. And dismantle the hovels in Babylonia. That place. Okay. I'm guessing the event spawned this in saying, hey, you can disassemble this to complete the objective once you hold the place. Because I don't remember that being there. It obviously is there now. This place is where the Jews were exiled from Jerusalem to Babylon by Nebuchadnezzar are living in dubious conditions. Cyprus Great has allowed them to return the homeland. So we could start disassembly, in which case we'd lose this bonus. But presumably complete our objective up here. I can probably tolerate losing that much income. So let's start the disassembly. Which means we'll lose the bonus, but that's fine. And then in 3 turns that'll be done. And that quest will be done. We're going to adopt local administration. Let's do that in Judea, so there is a courthouse there. Okay, and you go there, and then there, and you should be able to do that. Oh, the desert is scorching. Okay, you're just gonna stay where you are, because the desert's impassable for the moment. Okay, you're gonna go shore. There is no garrison there, so as long as you don't get got in the way in, that won't be a problem. Okay, that'll get those guys merged up. The cavalry will start going again as soon as the desert isn't absolutely scorching. I suppose we could be looking at... What's the war score looking like this war? 35... Seeing as I want something that's going to cost 160, we haven't beat them up enough. Granted, we haven't been in the heartland of Egypt yet, so that's maybe not surprising. have so much of their own, so they're not going to want to become ours. What's your opinion, Colcos? Not super bad. We'll offer a gift over there. Same here, offer a gift to these guys. Let's also do the same with Saba. Attempt to try to secure the southern border. So they're going to blow through a bunch of money here, but that's probably fine. Okay. So now we go through our provinces, building as we go. We can eventually get rid of that, which will give us remove the food penalty there. Granted, we're looking for the armor. Crafting district. We'll do the salt house. Food penalty isn't too bad, but that would be a complete deal breaker. Caravan house. I need 18 more. There we go. Let's finish the caravan house in one go. It's doing its thing. Get some more money from the stud. Could also produce tar here. Oh, it doesn't need naphtha. It just gets a bonus from naphtha. And a single nearby bonus nearby building would actually benefit from it. What do I need? I have a tar maker down here already, if I remember. Yeah. What do we need to move you around? The only building needing this trade good is the Greek fire tower. Now, to be fair, I think everyone can build the Greek fire tower. It's not a Greek-only building. But it's a bit of a tedious building to build. I think it's like a behind a building sort of scenario. Building the fortresses that you put that in, real good fortresses, but the side effect is not going to be super easy to move tar around. So if I want the tar up here, I should build the tar workshop, is basically what that says. We could probably get a better commerce building though, so we'll do the quant instead. Let's grab the Tribune, start working towards Tier 2 and Tier 3 culture buildings. One open slot there. Mainly thinking about it because it's 16 money. The loyalty is super good. It's not super bad either. So yeah, we'll take the ticket. 2 and a 1. Orchard. Orchard that could even theoretically be upgraded with the dates. Not desperate yet with the loyalty. We may be reasonably soon, but... There we go. The first of our military academies. Yes, it costs us 10 money, but it gets us 14 culture, 4 manpower, and more importantly, leader force pool bonus 1, leader quality bonus 1. Give me better commanders, please. Bloomery to import the coal. That'd be decent culture metal building. Coal and iron to create Nordic steel and clay smelters. Presence of the iron trade good rarely available for building. Okay. Sure. How short are we? 80 something. It's like 20 something. Less than that. Here we go. Dates isn't going to be too hard to get up there, so let's do trading tents. warehouse. Missing the bonus from stone, but there's ways to get stone moved around, so I'm not too worried about that. And or make it locally. Where do we want with the street power? No, we got enough loyalty right now. We'll do the structure buildings. Open slot there. We have to actually import the tin from foreign nation. Although, this is our subject nation, so that's not too bad. Close fighters, stone. Apparently there's actually buildings nearby that we need stone, but we'll eventually import it with the paved road. Although it's also 11 base infrastructure. Didn't have the health bonus, would definitely be the thing to do. Do the picks. Next to there. Courthouse or weapons. I think we're close enough to the weapon makers here that we're not going to bother. We'll do the courthouse though. Could do the preceptor house. That is a building we kind of want everywhere. I just noticed we have land expansion, which is a building we really want everywhere. It's cool. Okay, that's fine. Regional road. One, 3, and 1. Regional road. No. Do the walls. And then you... Did I... Oh no, we're still building the walls there. That's what's going on. I was about to say, did I not do a reroll? And I kind of did, but I did one that's slower than normal. Courthouse. Take the training ground. Smokehouse? Take the Oration Tribune to help a little bit of loyalty there. Oh, we're pretty badly food here. Okay. And you actually need even more to keep the stability up. I don't think you... Yeah, you can't keep the stability up anymore. So, actually swap everyone over to food. Okay. That's fine, that's fine. 2 open slots there. Fill up the walls. This place is occasionally being... Oh no, it's still suffering from, you know, being a different... 24... Food guy over to infrastructure, just get the stuff built quicker. Five build slots there. Public Works. We want some food there because our army's about to pass through, but other than that, we don't need a lot of food. This wouldn't actually be a bad place to put up a irrigation canal, because then these people over here can buy our papyrus. It's still a scorching heat. Okay. Is there any idle lone ones like you? Yeah. You're not going to be a border one, so actually do the stud there. That won't be too bad. Okay. Other idols? No. Regionals? No. So let's cycle a turn. So we're expecting to see 2 fights. There's the first one on Cyprus. 26 versus 2 should be pretty favoring us. Here we go. One Egyptian unit is attacking garrison. And loses. Attacking in the mountains. Our mountain specialist should be successful here. Here we go. Finish gifts to Saba, who still don't like us. Send gifts to Scythia. Like us a little bit better. They're at 5. Can I sign a cooperation deal with you? We'll give you more money. Maybe. And we've sent a generous gift to them. They like us a little bit more than Scythia does. Okay. Let's try to also get a cooperation deal with them. Again, we'll give you more money for it. Spend money to acquire metal or manpower. Kind of want to turn metal or manpower into money, but okay. Distribute the slaves. Augment the productivity or reduce unrest from slaves, or free some slaves. We're going to improve slave rights. And we've delayed the virtuous administration, so the ending of it a bit more. Nordic independents have been conquered. Has conquered the seat of power for Colchis. Okay. So, one of our neighbors said that capital overrun. Our ruler's health is very poor. Gotta build a harbor decision. Put out there. And we got more legacy from Athens. Okay. Okay, then we want you to go to sea. And then probably do a landing up here in the Delta area. Is that a walled settlement? No. That one's a walled settlement. Probably send you to go siege the walled settlement. Okay. Cavalry, which have been kind of suffering in the desert, or can at least make it to Judea. You're formed up. You can get to there. Okay, so you can get there in 3 turns. You can technically get there in 2 turns. And it's going to be an absolute menace by running down that coastline. Okay. Then we'll go through the buildings. Again. You can build a monument. That's probably what we want to do instead of re-rolling straight for the armory. Well, that's what we're looking for next there. One and a one. There we go. Another military academy. Bigger leader force pool. Better leader force pool. Although, maybe I do want to work up the... Nope, that's probably what we want. Like, yes, I want another infrastructure building, but we want one of the ones we can't pull, right? We need, like, the warehouse. And apparently we don't have enough population to get the upgraded versions yet of the guild, because we have enough buildings, we just don't have enough people, apparently. Because yes, buildings are also gated behind population in multiple situations, to account for situations where you can really run up the ranks with a lot of zero slots. The Master Fletcher. This has the reflex bow custom effects. We obviously want to put this either somewhere where we're going to remember where it is so we can move people there, because it equips one archer, I believe, locally with the upgraded bow. But this is our cavalry province. So I'd have to remember to bring the cav out here. And it's not my skirmisher cav province. This is my, like, ultra heavy, we're nothing but metal armor, like tanks, but horse province. So yeah, not this one, not there. We're outside of a marble range. Well, that's a shame. We'll do reroll. That's a new territory. We're gonna look for an archer there to clear that. We'll take the public works in the meantime. We're way overbuilding right now. In fact, this place might be making enough production that... oh no, we need a little bit more. So, 30 more than that. I was about to say, we might be making so much production, we might not have anyone on production to finish the construction, but no, we need a little bit more than that. One build slot. We can upgrade the amphitheater. The amphitheater is pretty expensive, but we can upgrade it, and it's definitely worth upgrading. Yeah. The fair. Then imports pottery, which isn't a problem. Gives us a bunch of money. Moves us closer to having tier 3 commerce buildings, which is the road upgrade. Sculpture shop. Works of art are made here, translating into the luxury trade good with marble, ivory, and copper. These pieces of craftsmanship can become beacons of the culture of your nation. Places... We have places that need luxury. This is maybe not the best place to build this, but this will save us enough money that I think we'll just accept this isn't a good place for it and build it anyway. Because, what, the palaces that we've built? I think there's one over here. There. No. When did the summer palace get set up? I think it did get set up. I'm just having difficulty finding it. Here's the summer palace. So the Summer Palace needs luxury, so it isn't being supplied with any, so it's costing us 27 money. That one luxury maker would make this place 27 money cheaper. And make the capital, which also needs luxury, 27 money cheaper. And there's a couple other buildings that benefit from having luxury. This would give us a bonus from luxury. The provincial places give us a bonus for luxury. Oh, I thought they did. No, they don't. I'm being confused, and they don't. Maybe they did. And one of the patches changed that. Yeah, and then luxury can be made basically by 3 different buildings: the jewelry shop, the sculptor shop, the Midas treasury. There's nothing that needs it around, as far as I can tell from that list, except for the Summer Palace, which... Oh no, that's actually telling me what buildings are missing, so it's not actually telling me what I can do to move it around. So I don't have a good way to check in to see if there's even any in the map currently, in order to check what needs it. But yeah, you can see the trade is pretty valuable. We're getting like 45 money just from moving the pottery around, 27 from the iron, and so forth. The papyrus over here is probably making bank. Yep, 30 off of that papyrus, 24 off of that papyrus, 30 off of that papyrus, 81 off of that papyrus. We're going to build one over here at some point so that they can buy papyrus off of us as well. And we do have a couple places in here that do provide purple. So we'll have to build some dye makers to move the dye around. We can move the ceramics around at the Major Temple, although I think the Major Temple is annoyingly, it's like a Tier 3 building? It's a Tier 3 building, that's why we haven't got as many built as I would have liked. Okay. Let's, oh, it's in the middle of going through the provinces. Let's get through the provinces a little quickly. Okay. Theater. Here we are. We don't need the loyalty, although we definitely could just build the noble district anyway. We'll grab the salt house. Move that salt around. Nothing to build here. Oh, and that's a region that's probably a little desperate for actually more infrastructure construction. Here we need to get the Bills Guild to get review. So, no, I probably do want that warehouse. Yeah, there's a couple 0 slots there, but the warehouse is moving towards the ultimate goal. Or the ultimate midterm goal for the location. Could do the quarry, but not that desperate for the quarry. How good is that orchard? Could be better. Do the training ground instead then. House warehouse. One and a 3. You can grab the weaver shop. This wouldn't necessarily be a bad place for the siege works. Again, that would be working towards getting another military academy. Sure, let's work that way. Build the black market. Rarely, the gambling ring attracts all manner of shady individuals with dubious connections. This will in turn create a black market in the city. They will manage to find rare merchandise for the wealthy, although it wouldn't be lost to know beforehand what exactly they will find and when. Wait carefully the choice to not build in this building, as this is a rare proposal. Most of the time, the effects of the black market will be beneficial, although unpredictable. Yep, we're gonna accept some decadence production there for a fancy, funny building. The bank will be done next turn. Apparently, we don't need as much construction there anymore because we finished up the construction for the moment. Three open slots. Three open slots, and yet I'm presented with nothing I want. Yep, we're going to do a reroll here. There's definitely stuff I would take. It's not. None of those are the things I want. One open slot. We probably don't need this much construction unless it's a really expensive building we pick. I think we're going to take the crafting district, which is not a very expensive building. Okay, so we need the region to be positive infrastructure, let's say. And the region is naturally positive infrastructure, so we can crank out a bunch of food and get the crafter district done all at the same time. Let's build the training ground. Get that military expertise ratio up a little bit. Build the clean water. And everything's going to finish the turn, so I'm not going to bother with that last worker moving off of food. You're cleared by the armor. We have the armor, so we're just waiting for you to clear. Surprisingly unprofitable market. That'll probably get better over time, but let's not futz with it too much. Take the brickwork instead. Granary, that's getting a bonus from grain. Sure. Six and a 2. You've got a lot you want to... Oops, I hit the wrong button. You've got a lot you want to build in Babylonia. 6 building slots. Could do with more loyalty. I think this is technically applying a loyalty penalty, but it's fine. We've got marble. It wouldn't be too hard to get ceramics in. We want to get ceramics in, so that gives more culture. It requires frankincense, which we can import. In fact, we'd currently be importing it from ourselves, because apparently we got frankincense over... Oh no. The neighbors have frankincense. But they're also neighbors that we're trying to be on friendly terms with, so that works out. You don't necessarily want to import from the neighbors when you're not planning on being friendly terms with them, but if peace is what you're expecting, then importing from the neighbors is not a struggle. Mesopotamian light horses, so a stables here wouldn't be amiss. So the other question is this place still production positive if I move enough people over to food to feed the people? Barely. No, it isn't. Okay, so no. It's a choice between them actually building their way out of an issue or meeting minimum food requirements. They're going to try to build their way out of the issue. Okay, what do the racing track there? That'll help with the loyalty issue. Although the underpacification will go away pretty quickly, though that won't actually stabilize them, so they definitely need it. One slot there. Sure, take the wall upgrade. Then you're the other one, which is a lot of slots. You also want more loyalty. I don't think the street poly is going to give you more loyalty, but it's going to unlock better loyalty source places, so let's go that way. And then this province is pretty dysfunctional. Pretty dysfunctional. And it's probably not getting any better anytime soon. Yep. Although it might once some of the just conquered penalties go away. So we can keep the rating down. Okay, and we'll do a quick check for idle loaners, and there isn't any. So we're going to cycle the turn. Looking at the time, this will probably be the last end turn of this part. This is the one fight up here in the Caucasus. We're not sure if we're going to win. This is the first time we're not in the mountains. Okay. We did in fact win. So we took that bit of plain, makes that territory, and makes that province full-sized. Receive extra troops in your capital. Okay, that's not a problem. The boats, on the other hand, are looking a bit worse for wear. I don't think we've lost any yet, but we're going to do like a there, and then like a there. That should screen any travelers as our guys go ashore. And that's actually all the decisions we want, so I think this is a good place to put a part break in. If you're watching on YouTube, there will be another part up tomorrow, because we're going to record one more part tonight. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. I'm going to take a short break to have a little bit of tea, take a quick stretch of the legs, and then get back to recording. We're probably going to record about 1 more hour tonight, which may allow us to get into Egypt proper. We're expecting to get there. Well, there will be there in 2. There will be... Well, actually, the Cav will get there in 2. I'll get there next turn. So when we cycle the turn, we'll have those be in those 2 territories. And yeah, we'll start running amok in Egypt proper, probably during this next part. Whether that's enough to negotiate for peace will be up to the fates at that point. So until the next part, I wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.